was stormy.
Well,
it was really stormy.
Rain, there's hail, the wind's coming up.
Thunder and lightning, and it just wasn't good.
He said, "Get down here."
it's the loudest sound I've ever heard.
It was intense.
It was a tornado coming through town. They said, "Come out, we need your help."
Destroyed the house and ripped off all of his clothing.
Everything on this block of this first half was gone.
I mean, and look at all that damage just all around it.
There were several families that were wiped out that night. Mothers, fathers, their kids.
It's just devastating.
So many people who were so young that night that were killed so violently and abruptly. It just breaks your heart to read that, even over 70 years later like this.
About 30 miles southeast of Wichita, you'll find the small town of Udall in Cowley County. It's home for about 700 people, and 70 years ago, it looked much different. It was home for oil field workers and homemakers, and when a tornado hit that night, everything changed forever.
Hi, are you coming down to the community building?
I didn't know there was a meeting.
Yeah, well, just hop on down right quick. This used to be the library. They're in the process of moving the tornado stuff over here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, it took so long.
That's all right. We made it.
Yeah. We worked on this this was the 65th year, I think. We tried to get as many pictures of those who had perished in the storm. They took all the cars that had been damaged and they was in a row. Good morning, Bethine.
Good morning, I'm sorry.
You want to start?
You're the oldest.
Oh, okay. My name is Aline Kistler.
My name is Beth Evans.
So talk to us about, we're talking about the Udall tornado. Take us back to that day, what you remember leading up to the storm. You had made mention earlier that it was windy that day.
Yeah, it was windy, and my mother was helping host this bridal shower that was going to be in the community building. And I had wanted to go to the telephone office that night because I had gotten a chance to learn how to run the switchboard at the and so that I could work there part-time this summer. And my mother said, "No, you are going to that shower with me because I need your help." So I pouted most of the day, but I went to the shower, fortunately, because the lady in the telephone office was killed.
May 25th, 1955, different warnings were issued for Kansas that day, and here we have the bulletins. At 12:35, warnings for eastern Kansas. By 4:36, central Kansas is included, but Udall was never included in the alerts until 9:50 at night. At 10:15, TV meteorologists gave the all clear during the broadcast, saying all warnings had expired for the area. Many people went to bed. Yet 20 minutes later, at 10:35, the deadliest tornado in Kansas history hits Udall.
It was stormy.
Well,
it was really stormy because
The wind was blowing.
and there was thunder and lightning, and it just wasn't good. All of a sudden, these ceiling tiles, for a long time I didn't like tiles like this, they started falling here and there across the room, and the lights went out.
Everybody talks about going through a tornado and it sounds like a freight train. Are there any sounds that stick with you all these years later?
Oh, the sound of that was, it's the loudest sound I've ever heard.
It was intense.
Yeah,
It really was.
was.
Well, and see, we're right by the railroad tracks down here. And after the storm had passed and we're up there in this little cubby hole, ding dong, ding dong. And that thing went on forever because it had evidently been put into action. And for a long time, that bothered me a whole lot.
The tornado turned out to be an F5, leveling the town. The stories continue to haunt the survivors to this day.
Right after the storm, if the weather would get bad, well, I was pretty uneasy. My dad always said, he said, the nature is just beautiful. Sometimes it gets to going a little bit faster than what we want, but the weather is our friend. And so he helped me in some ways.
In 1955, a big tornado outbreak in the Central Plains nearly wiped out the town of Udall. It would become the deadliest tornado in Kansas history, but what you may not know is the tornado itself actually started 40 miles south of here near Blackwell, Oklahoma.
Exactly what part of the city was hit. It's from the glass plant on east. Everything east of that is level, and the glass plant is gone. And those that are calling in, we only have one circuit, and we can't answer all the telephone calls.
Before a tornado hit Udall in 1955, the storm got its start about 40 miles south in Blackwell, Oklahoma. It killed 20 people there and another 80 in Udall.
I was driving around town before the storm hit, and it started hailing. I mean, they was hail balls that big. And I picked some of them up. I had a boy riding with me, a friend of mine. And we took him out to his folks' place. And his dad stuck his head up out of the cellar. He said, "Get down here." And I said, "Well, there's a train on the tracks." He said, "There's no tracks over there." It was a tornado coming through town. My name is Wayne Purdy. I saw the chief of police there, and he sent me up north of there to check on this one house. We got there, and there was a woman there, and we took a closet door and carried her away from the house down to the Ball Clinic, a hospital. And we got about a half a block from that house when it collapsed.
People who lived there didn't know north from south, came out in total darkness, total blankness, because ordinarily, you see, you could walk around at night and on the horizon you would see shadows of houses and buildings, but those buildings weren't there.
Fortunately for Blackwell, only part of the town was affected, yet even today, it continues to touch those young first responders.
Newly married, and I was worried about my car getting hurt because I heard the storm coming. Lauren Valentine is my name. We got down there and started picking up bodies with the help of other people that would bring them to us. And we wound up with 4 bodies in the back of our truck. No, I wasn't a hero. But I did
I was glad I was in it.
It made me respect tornadoes. I'm not scared of them, but I respect them. I know what they can do.
Udall has remained roughly the same size as it was back in the 1950s when the tornado hit. As time has moved along, a lot of survivors from the tornado have passed, but places like the Historical Society have documented a lot of the facts, but a few others have come along to tell the story of that unforgettable night.
We remodeled in 2020. We have old newspapers.
Oh, wow.
Damage wall. This car tag was actually from a car, and 6 was the county number. 55, this was actually on a car.
Oh my goodness.
And was damaged.
So this whole wall is from debris here in
Yes,
Blackwell.
the majority of it came from like the glass plant, the yo-yo, things like that, old toys. My name is Melissa Hudson, and I'm the director of Top of Oklahoma Museum in Blackwell. Tornado wreckage on East Blackwell, and then there's a car.
They're just picked up and tossed like nothing.
They're just tossed like nothing, like.
But see more debarking
Yeah.
that you can see right there.
Historians are determined to give a voice to people who are no longer here.
There were several families that were wiped out that night, mothers, fathers, their kids.
Well, my name's Adam Catlin. I'm a writer for the Cali County newspaper and editor of the Newkirk newspaper as well.
Before this tornado had even hit Udall, 5 members of the King family who lived in a farmhouse north of Oxford were killed.
This photo of the King family was taken the day before the storm.
They all went to the bathroom area and was grabbing over the pipes. My name's Terry Whitehead, and I'm kind of like a researcher. I've got my name in about 9 different books. Can you imagine? They've probably got the brunt of the storm, and this is an F5, and all they could do was hold on pipes and stuff in the bathroom.
Ruth King and her surviving kids crawled into this car, and rescuers found them in a huddle. The kids were 11 months to 13 years old, and they're buried in Wellington. Family moved away, yet tragedy continued to follow them.
There was a 6th member of the King family that died in a truck accident in 1960, and the father, he was away in the tuberculosis hospital in Norton. He ended up committing suicide in the 1960s.
Powerful stories also came a year later when the high school band marched in the state parade. So my name is Jim Minnick. I live in the mountains of Virginia. A lot of people ask what my connection to the Udall tornado is. Short answer is I have a sister-in-law who grew up in the town. You know, they had no uniforms. They had been donated instruments, so they had enough instruments to play, but they went in white shirts and jeans, and they marched, and they got a standing ovation. You know, and that just is just, and several, like Beth and Arlene were both in that band.
The love that and affection that was showed to us there, I'm still in awe of that.
Reading that passage just makes me feel the power of community and resilience, and the strength of what we find when we work together.
In the years to come, what happened here in Cowley County would inspire change so that people in the future would be prepared.
No, these are all still photos from the same thing. Yeah, they're just smaller. I mean, you can see people just standing where their house was. In the PowerPoint, they actually had one where they had a photo of what the house looked like before and then after. I mean, and look at all that damage just all around it. It's just devastating. This is another picture that is a refrigerator that's wrapped around a tree.
My name is Elise Davidson, and I am the Cowley County Emergency Management Coordinator. Some of the photos they're just impactful just to look at how much damage. I mean, and they were even, I looked earlier and it was saying that some of the cars, they found just like the frame of them, but there was others that they never even found the car at all, which I'm like, that's so crazy.
Many people don't know the story of a man who tried to prevent so many deaths. Harold Crum was the police and fire chief of Mulvane back in 1955. He was in the Blackwell area that night. The tornado hit at 9:30, and by 9:39, he hit the road.
Followed the storm, and he was trying to give warning to communities on his police radio, and he wanted to include Udall, but Udall did not have a police radio at that time. I feel like that would be the hardest part, like thinking now of all the things that we have access to think back when they didn't have that, you know? I mean, they may have just been in bed and next thing you know, the tornado's going through and they had no warning at all.
The technology of the 1950s isn't advanced like what we have today, but in the weeks following the storm, changes were made to keep people safe.
So they actually started doing more advancement in trying to pick up tornadoes on the radar. They also started having storm spotters that they started using more frequently. That was not really a thing at the time, but they did start training spotters to be out there to kind of view what was going on and give real-time information. This is somebody's mom's house, but then if you look at the next photo, that is what was the remains of it, no longer there.
It took weeks, but the community cleaned up things quickly.
There's a lot of workers and stuff that were from Red Cross and Salvation Army, and in this photo, they're basically trying to make temporary homes for people.
In Udall, they piled things into a pit, burned and buried the rubble. Blackwell even threw debris into the river.
And it presses for just 8 seconds, and then the high school was asked to make and press all the shirts. We pressed them right here on this heat press.
As part of getting ready for our 70th year anniversary from the Udall tornado.
Andrew Preston, and student of Udall High School. We are one big family, and so being able to have the high school make these shirts while also having the 4-H paint those railings and those benches.
There's dripping right there.
I have plenty.
It's nice to really see the community come together and rebuild this wonderful town. And so painting these benches are the least we can do to just show our community some love.
Preparing for May 25th is important for both Udall and Blackwell.
Don't forget the human element to overcome adversity, to overcome obstacles.
We're known for tornadoes, but we're also known for coming together and sharing what we have with other people.
Yet with each year, people are finding their own way to honor the lives lost, to make sure we never forget.
What's the one thing you want people to know about Udall and thinking about the tornado all these years later? You know, we see a lot of this happen in a lot of other areas of the country. Is there anything that kind of rises above that from the Udall storm that you can recall?
The thing that stands out with me is after the storm, if you saw someone that lived in Udall, there was hugging and I'm so happy you're alive, that type of thing. The outreach of the surrounding communities was unbelievable. And there were times when they were taking up donations out on K-15, and there would be, sometimes there was traffic. I know it went up 2 miles of people that were coming, maybe to look, I understand that, but they were also very giving to the community.
Well, and you have this headline over here from the paper, the night Udall died. Well, I just want everybody to know that Udall is now alive, very much alive.
It makes me sad.
Yeah, it does.
In a way that may not be far from so, because it really hasn't grown, but there still is a lot of people here that...
And there's a lot of nice people, and there's a lot
right.
of people that help each other and are still helping each other. So I just want people to know that Udall did not die.
Yeah.
It may have had a little bump in the road, but we didn't die.